Hello everybody, I am Doodlemanz 86 and today I am going to review the S.H Monsterarts Destoroyah, the original release from 2013. So this was sculpted by the original suit designer Shinichi Wakasa, which makes it a pretty highly sought after figure, and the fact that this is the very original made the price and rarity go up by a lot. And this is considered to be one of the best in the Monsterarts line in terms of sculpt and paint. The articulation's really good, and I personally believe it's one of the best. So, is it worth the hype? Well, let's find out. And before we start with the figure, I of course got to start out with the box. And look at how big this box is. It is very wide. Oh, you can actually see me. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, here you have Destoroyah's head and face, basically a profile of him, Bandai. And this is one of the older boxes, you know, one of the first releases. So you have a little description here, and a lot of it is in Japanese, which I think is so interesting, seeing these old boxes next to the new ones. This is really nice. I like the words here, you know, it's in glitter. Destoroyah. I think that's really neat. And if we move to the other side, we get a nice picture of Destoroyah. This box is that big, yes. Pretty tall, but more so wide. And here at the back, you have some more Japanese, probably with a description of the movie as well. I wouldn't know though, but maybe I'll translate it afterwards and post it. And then here you have a few promo pics and Burning Godzilla in the back. So yeah, it's just so interesting to see how far the boxes themselves have come. And 10 years later, this box is a little broken, but it's still fine, you know? It's still in good quality. So yeah, that was the box for you. So of course, this being the Monsterarts line, I have to start out with articulation. So up here at the jaw, we have the jaw, which is on a ball joint, interestingly enough, opens and closes. The little mandibles here are also on ball joints, but as you can see, really the only ones that move are the middle ones. The other ones slightly move, but I don't want to break it, so I'm not going to move that too hard. The head here is on a ball joint, as you can see. Looks pretty high up and decently far down. And then the neck here is on 3 segments of a ball joint. So you have one here, you have one here in the middle, and then you have one here at the base, which connects to the whole body. So it looks pretty far down, very far up, and then looks pretty far to the right and left. It's very impressive. The shoulders are on a ball joint, as you can see. They connect to the wings, so you're going to be moving those as well. They have a slight drop down, as you can see. The wing here is on a ball joint with a little piece here. And then we have another segment here, which is also on a ball joint. This one's pretty loose. The other one is fine, but this isn't too much of an issue. And then we have some of the wing segments on here, which are on ball joints. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Then this one can also open and close, and it can also break. For the arms, we have the ball joint here, and then we have a, oh, don't want to poke myself there. We have the swivel here, and it's on a ball joint at the elbow, which is very nice. The wrist is on a swivel hinge, which is pretty good. And then the claws themselves are on ball joints. On this hand, they're slightly limited, but on the other one, they're a lot more expressive. They open and close a lot easier. So your copy could have some differences there. The body, the upper body here, there is a waist joint. It's on a ball joint, but it's super loose. So if you move it, it pops out. So I wouldn't move it if I were you, because there's really no point. The hips here are on a ball joint. Very nice. They kick back this far, forward that far. Spread's all right, but I wouldn't expect anything from Thunder Thighs here. The knees here, it looks like a ball joint, definitely swivels. Then we have the ankle piece here, and then the ankles are on a ball joint. Very nice movement from the ankles here. And then we have a 10 segment ball joint plus the pincer, which moves as so. Pretty far in every direction. It's very good. I love this tail. So that was Destoroyah's articulation for you. Oh wait, actually I almost forgot. We have the little swivel here for the mini wings, so there's also that. But yeah, the articulation is very expressive, and I think it is excellent on Destoroyah here. So this figure is very much praised for its sculpt and paint, and being made by the original suit designer, I feel like there would be no imperfections. It'd be perfect. So we'll start out with everything from the head to the tail. So here you have the mouth, which when you open it, you have this nasty flesh-like color. It's very glossy and it looks just so nasty. And you have these teeth protruding from everywhere, even from his snout, which I think just looks so awesome and gnarly. And you have the side mandibles, which are very nice, very sharp. Look like bananas, sort of. And then you have the eyes and the horn, which are translucent. As you can see, I don't think they're any specific color. They could be like a dark red. The horn here is very long, very sharp. It is like orangish in the middle, and then it turns to silver at the tip, which I think is very well done. It looks beautiful. Then you have the head crests, which are very curvy and sharp. The whole body is like this dark red, almost purple color, and the tips of spikes and armor are a very bright red, which I think is a nice contrast. Makes him look very evil. And you have his little horns back here, which I like to call. The neck is pretty long, and you have the armor plating here with the spikes that run down all the way to the tail. Each plate has red on top of the spikes, which I think looks awesome. And you have the chest crest here, which is pretty good. I like how glossy it is. It kind of stands out from the figure, right? Being in the middle. Yeah, that pattern looks pretty awesome. And you have his big shoulder spikes, also very sharp. And you have some mini ones here. He's got really huge shoulders. And you have his little limpy arms, which are still really big. You have the claws here. These curvy segmented claws, which look really awesome. I just love that detailing. And you have the big wings here with the membrane and all the crevices to show for it. As you can see, it's like a lot of a lighter red compared to the rest of the figure. You even have some muscle here, which is very nice. I just love this detailing. It looks really awesome. And then we get to the thunder thighs, the only thighs that could challenge Shin Godzilla himself. We have a lot of plating and lining here, which looks awesome. He's got huge legs. Like I knew they were huge, but not this big. And you have some spikes sticking out, which look awesome. I like the gradient color here, where it turns from a darkish red to the white tips. That just looks really nice. And you have the armor going down here with the crustacean-like detail going around it. You have the feet, which just looks so awesome. Such curvy but thick claws with flesh to support it. It almost looks like it's bleeding. And I just think that looks really awesome. That's very well done. And when you get to the back here, you see more of that, the wings, the back of the head, and then you get the back, which just looks awesome. Oh, I love the plating. Just the black in between and then the red on the spikes just looks so beautiful. It's all symmetrical. I love it. And then it goes down to the pincers, which look really awesome themselves too. They have black and they look red. They have red on the edges, which looks like it's almost translucent, but it's not. So I think that was very well done. It all looks really impressive. So I do have to say the sculpt and the paint on this guy is beautiful. He looks almost lifelike, and I think Shinichi Wakasa and the rest of the team did an awesome job on Destoroyah here. There's nothing I would have done any better. He does not come with any accessories, and his original price when he first released was $149.99. Nowadays on Amazon, this release goes for more than that, almost $800, which is exactly what I got this for. The special color version goes for even more, but that's because he has added on paint and accessories. So the size for this guy is about 7.5, but if you include the horn, it is almost 8, especially if he is upright as so. And then from head to tail, if we're counting the horn, which I assume we would, he is about 11.5, almost 12. So we'll get into size comparisons right now. And as you can see, he's pretty tall. He is taller than most figures. And I do like the size because it feels like an action figure. I feel like if you're going to make a big action figure, it shouldn't feel like a statue with limited movement. But this guy is the opposite of that, which I think is just fantastic. And he is also a very heavy figure. So along with that weight, he supports the size. So I just think it looks really great amongst other figures in your collection. He's definitely going to stand out and command a lot of shelf space. So would I say it's worth it? Well, almost 10 years later, I have to say he's aged like fine wine. The sculpt is magnificent and the paint is superb. The articulation is awesome, and for the size and weight, he moves very well. He's very flexible for a kaiju that barely moved in his own movie. The suit itself is fantastic, and I feel like this figure definitely represented that very well, and it just looks astonishing, breathtaking, and lifelike. So I would say get this, but for the price, it's very high, but in very good condition. There will probably be an inevitable decisive battle version, which will probably release soon, so I'd say wait around or see if a sale happens to hit this guy hard. The S.H. Monsterarts Destoroyah is definitely one of my favorite, and in my opinion, one of the best in the line. It definitely holds up and is fantastic even 10 years later. I recommend picking this figure up if you've got the money, and I would definitely say get this version, because this one is definitely fantastic. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.